What is going on, guys? My name is Mehul and welcome to your 17th Angular 2 tutorial in which we'll be going off with the routing stuff of the cart page of our web application. So far what we have is that if you click on any one of the items, it just adds it to the cart. But eventually I want to have a different page, a separate page for cart. So we have route config to our rescue. So what I'm gonna do is, first of all, let's just add a simple route config which just says path is cart, right? Then I want that when path is cart, I want the controller or the component actually for Angular 2 to be um, cart component, which we'll create in a minute. And the third one is name as, let's just say, my first cart, and you could actually just omit those quotes around the cart name. And yeah, so for now what we need inside index.html is to just get rid of this cart right here, and we have a bunch of stuff to do. So let's just create a new file here. Let's just call it component.cart.ts. Then I'm just gonna copy and paste some sort of code. I'm going a little bit quick, so you can just pause the video if you just go out of the frequency. So inside the card.ts, I don't want any selector, no template URL, and no style. So I just want a template which is a multi-line comment string actually, and I just want to export class cart component. That's it. So the next thing I need to do is I need to add, even if the user visits this cart, what happens is that the very first page which will be executed is this component.index.ts only. So we need to somehow tell that whenever this cart is found, you have to load this cart component. But where? To tell that, we'll make use of the route or router outlet, and would close this as well. And right here, the final thing we need to do is add a directives, because obviously we don't know what this directive is. So this directive is router directives, and this comes from this file. Alright, now looks like there's some sort of cart component. Alright, so I guess I haven't included the file, so I'm gonna say import cart component from, and this is component.cart, right? The card with the name my first card does not begin with uppercase letter. Okay, so alright, here we go. Alright, so now we have this page, but we have actually nothing to go to that card page, so I'm gonna eventually type out card, and down here you can see that we got card, but this is kinda awkward because obviously you don't want this thing right here to be displayed, and in a minute I'm gonna show you how to get rid of that. And first of all, before even doing that, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna say somehow I want to have a link on this page to redirect automatically the user on this page on clicking the link. But this is not as simple as typing ahref then card, because if I do like my card, now since this is not an actual redirect, but we are just kind of fooling the client side, because obviously the card, if you do an actual redirect, this will actually request a card page from the server, but we don't have any card page from the server because we are doing all of the routing on the front page. So we may need to make use of some sort of Angular stuff here. and that is the router link. And I guess I spelled it right. And inside here, what I want is an array again, with the first element being the name of the route config inside which you have placed. Now we need this array. I don't know why, but there's a reason, because you can have a multiple component list here for some sort of backup file or something. I'll just check out the documentation and let you know, but I know there's some sort of things here. So now we have, if I go to the home page again, we have this my cart, and if I click on this, you can see down here this automatically appears. Now this looks awkward and this looks, vague, because obviously this kind of looks like if I am having a drop down or something. Like, for example, now I don't have a card for now. I don't have a card, you can see, and if I click it, it magically appears. Like, you will say that I can actually do that with a simple JavaScript or jQuery code as well, but actually this is also not working because we have not actually added this thing right here into the component place. So what's the fix for this is that actually what happens is that this page right here, the index.ts, is the first file to be executed, and this is the master file of your application. So again, what we can do, instead of just displaying this stuff right here in the master file, we can just split this thing into a separate module as well, a separate component you can say, and then we can load that particular component inside the router outlet, which will place in the template here. So this tutorial was just to show you how to do a simple URL routing, and you can actually, inside this component card, what you can do is you can just say hello, a big hello, so that you just can see that this is some sort of routing going on here. So I guess that hello was a big one. So I guess I have some internet problem right now, so that's why it's not loading. Yeah, okay, so we have a hello right there and no hello right there. So you see that the routing is working. So the aim for this tutorial was to prepare you guys for the next tutorial, which would allow us to split our this component, which we have kind of hard coded into the main application, into a separate file, and then from then onwards we'll not have to worry about the main file at all. So we'll just manage our components. Well, that would make life a hell lot easier, and if you're not understanding what I'm trying to say, then don't worry, because in the next tutorial all of that would make sense. So make sure you watch the next tutorial if you have made it to this point, because the next one would be an important one. So if you liked it, then don't forget to subscribe, and thank you for watching.